Next question says the demand curve of a monopolistically competitive producer is A, less elastic than that of either a pure monopolist or a pure competitor. B says less elastic than that of a pure monopolist but more elastic than that of a pure competitor. C says more elastic than that of a pure monopolist but less elastic than that of a pure competitor. And D says more elastic than that of either a pure monopolist or a pure competitor. So we're really just trying to find how does monopolistic competitive producers' demand curve compare to a pure monopolist's demand curve and a pure competitor's demand curve. Okay, so a pure competitor's demand curve is a price taker. Their demand curve is flat. That's perfectly inelastic. Sorry, perfectly elastic, right? And so we know that this is because there's a lot of competition. So in a monopolistically competitive market, there's a little bit less competition, and so we know that the demand curve is going to be less elastic than that of a pure competitor. So we can already eliminate the questions that don't, the answer choices that don't say that. So D is eliminated and B is eliminated, right? B says more elastic than a pure competitor, and D also says more elastic than a pure competitor. So we're left with A and C. A monopolistically competitive producer, however, is also going to be less inelastic or more elastic than a pure monopolist, because pure monopolists has complete control over the market, and so they're price setters, whereas monopolistically competitive producers have semi-control of the market, so they're semi-price setters, semi-price takers. And so we know it's going to be some sort of middle ground, where the elasticity of a monopolistic competitive producer's demand curve is more elastic than that of a pure monopolist, but less elastic than that of a pure competitor. And so C seems to be the best answer for us here. And so we're going to go with C. We can take a look at the previous tier's answer. And the previous tier says that, as we know, the demand curve is a curve that shows the relationship between the quantity demanded and the price. On the other hand, elasticity is showing the relationship between the price and the quantity demanded in numerical terms. The shape of the demand curve also depends on the price elasticity of demand. The perfectly competitive demand curve is more elastic or perfectly elastic, and the monopolistic demand curve is less elastic than perfect competition. The monopolistic demand curve is in the middle. The monopolistic competitive demand curve, so I think it's a typo, is in the middle of the perfect competition and monopoly demand curve. Therefore, option C is the correct option. So the monopolistically competitive demand curve is in the middle of the perfectly competitive and monopoly demand curve. Okay, so that's going to be still the correct answer, and we can mark that as correct.